Hey guys, long time no here. Get it? Because it's been a while since you've heard my voice. My sense of humor is bad, okay? But let's not keep you waiting, because you know what we're talking about today, and that is Steven Universe Future. About time, I know. If you're watching this, then I'm guessing you've seen the first 4 episodes of Steven Universe Future, and if you haven't, then go see them. But when this video does come out, I'm guessing episode 5 and 6 will be out too. And that's what I said in my script, but more episodes have come out already. So let's just say this video is only based off of the first 4 episodes, okay? Not that the new episodes have changed anything, but I'm just saying I'm only using evidence from the first 4 episodes. Now, let's get back to my script, or else this video will be a mess. Now, what exactly are we talking about? Could it be the epic fight between Steven and Jasper in a little homeschool? Or Amethyst's character growth seen in guidance? Or how Steven feels about his mom, Sun and Rosebuds? Or we could talk about the best girl in the show, Pink Pearl, also known as Volleyball, and how Pearl and Pink Pearl have a lot of potential for an interesting relationship. All these ideas are great, but they don't fit Ryan Mason's crazy thought process. So instead, I came up with a little theory that you might like or might hate. It depends how crazy you are. Just to put this on record, I have not heard anyone say this theory or anything like that. This came out of my own crazy head. So if this is on the internet somewhere, then I haven't seen it. And whoever did think this up before me, props to you. You are as crazy as me. Before we get into the theory, however, we have to talk about the subject of the theory. Something we should take a closer look at and better understand. And let's get to it now. The subject of this theory is Pink Steven. What a surprise, right? I mean, what else would I talk about? But I'll briefly discuss it and give you what I think it is. From the time we see Steven go pink, it is all due to negative emotions. Jasper called out how Steven was the only person who needs help, which got Steven annoyed because he is the one helping others, and for Jasper to say he is a burden on other people touched a nerve. Steven, as Smoky Quartz, was scared of being responsible for people getting hurt. And Volleyball tells Steven another fact about his mother that is negative, and we all know how Steven feels about his mom.
Mom? Oh, geez, those feelings are complicated.
As we can see, negative emotions cause this behavior, and it also makes Steven lose control of himself, leading to Steven beating Jasper uncontrollably, and Steven causing cracks in the reef with his voice alone. The one time we see Steven in control was when he was Smoky Quartz, and we'd have to thank Amethyst for that, because I bet she was the only reason why Steven could control his power. And when the people were saved from the roller coaster, his negative feelings were gone, so he can no longer stay in pink mode anymore. Also, Steven losing control gives him the ability to be extremely powerful, from super speed to super strength. Well, more super strength than he already has.
Jeez! What does Greg feed that kid?
I hope I explained Pink Steven in an easy way. Hopefully this information doesn't come outdated with more episodes. That is what I wrote in the script, but since this is present me, or I guess past me for you, but anyway, a couple episodes have been out, and I will say the new episodes enforce what I've just said. For example, in Bluebird, Eyeball and Aquamarine were no longer a threat to Steven, since they could no longer fuse together. So that's why Steven stopped being pink. Now that we have all that boring information out of the way, let's get into the actual theory. My theory is that Pink Diamond's split personality, her kind side and her tantrum side, are represented in both of her kindergartens. Now, before you click off thinking this is crazy, let's just talk about it for a second. First, the reason why I even came up with this theory is because what Pearl says in Rosebuds.
They don't just look like her, they are like her. She made them.
Very interesting, I might say. And each one of the rose quartzes we meet share an aspect of her. For the sake of clarity, I will be calling each rose quartz by the name given to them in the credits. Hippie Rose represents Pink's laid-back and fun side, which we see with her time with Greg. Superfan Rose represents Pink's curiosity for everything, especially organic life. And Psy Rose represents Pink's empathetic side, which is her being aware of other people's feelings. But they're not the only gems who came from the prime kindergarten. We now have to discuss the amethyst that came from there. In That Will Be All, we get confirmation that all the amethysts on the zoo are pinks.
These amethysts, they're all from Earth. They're from the prime kindergarten.
That makes this job more difficult for us. From what we can tell about the amethysts on the zoo, they seem to be very childish, always goofing around and whatnot, but they seem to also care for human beings, as we see in the zoo. The first part represents Pink's childish antics when she was with the diamonds and Spinel, while the second part shows her care for creatures, something that is rare to find in Homeworld. Now, I hope this makes a good connection between them, because I thought about this for a bit and liked this comparison, but there's one more gem from the Prime Kindergarten we can't forget. After all, she is a main character. Amethyst, member of the Crystal Gems, Purple Puma, guidance counselor at Little Homeschool. The gem has a lot of titles, but how does she compare to Pink Diamond? Well, in Steven Universe the movie, we see that when Amethyst first came out of the ground, she copied everything she saw. It's a great running joke in the movie, but it actually shows us a part of Pink as well. Pink at the beginning looked up to the other diamonds, and like we all know, she wanted a colony. But why? Well, she wanted one because all the other diamonds had one, and she believed that's how it's supposed to be. Pink copied the other diamonds' actions. We also know that over time, Amethyst grew to become her own person. Sorry, her own gem. Just like Pink grew to become her own gem. Sorry, her own diamond. Well, that's it for the Prime Kindergarten, which means it's time we take a trip to the Beta Kindergarten. Wonder what gems come from there. It's time to talk about Jasper.
Really?
Yes, you, Jasper. Jasper is the reason why I find this theory so interesting, because she is the perfect representation of Pink's tantrum side. As I said previously, my theory is that Pink Diamond's split personality are represented in both of her kindergartens. Well, the Prime Kindergarten represents the Pink we all know and love, or maybe for some of you hate, but the Beta Kindergarten represents Pink's tantrum side. And what better gem to represent Pink's aggressive side than the most aggressive gem in the show? After all, the gem is training for a fight that's been over for years. You can't be more aggressive than waiting to fight constantly. I think that alone puts a good comparison between Jasper and Pink's tantrum side, and there are no other gems to talk about. Nope, none. It's not like I remember anyone while finding clips for the video, and these characters make my theory more complicated than I originally thought. Nope, none of them exist. Not a single gem. Let's just get this out of the way. I am, of course, talking about Skinny Jasper and Carnelian. We know they are from Beta, because Harley Blue says so herself.
Even you hideous off-color betas got out of your cubbies and into your places!
Now, let's talk about Skinny Jasper first, with her first line.
Prime, prime, prime. You amethysts are so clicky.
Skinny Jasper is an outsider with the other amethysts, as that's what clicky means. Pink was also an outsider to her other diamonds. She was the odd one out, and this feeling of being isolated from her other diamonds, her family in a sense, negatively impacted her. Now, of course, Skinny Jasper doesn't seem to have any negative emotions about it. She seems to be joking around when she says this, but who knows how she really feels. Joking is a good way of hiding how you feel. After all, I have experience with that. This is the part of the video where you say, "Rye Mason, you're crazy." Yes, I am crazy, and I haven't even gotten to the last character yet. Probably the hardest character. I'm just gonna say, I feel like Carnelian is also an outsider too, but she tries to hide it more than Skinny Jasper, cause like she fits in more due to her hyperactivity. That's something Pink also had. Her hyperactive behavior led to many negative things happen to her, as we see in Jungle Moon. Of course, this is all just a stretch. This theory has no ground to stand on. Wait a minute, where have I heard that before? Now, here's my crazy little theory, which has no ground to stand on, but it's interesting to think. Oh right, I said that in my uneducated analysis of Spinel, which you can watch right here. using the eye icon. Hopefully I timed that right. Shameless plug. I really am a YouTuber. Now, let's get back to script so I can finish this video. And 1, 2, 3. I do really find the idea of the two kindergartens representing Pink's two sides interesting. In case you were curious, if you saw my community post about this video, then the part I got stuck on was Skinny Jasper and Carnelian. Clearly. It is the weakest part of this theory, in my opinion. That's all I could think of for this theory. I think I touched on everything out at the moment of writing, but if I missed anything or you'd like to share your thoughts, then let me know in the comments. Remember, this is a theory, and the information could be stretched at times, but I still think there is a room for the possibility of this being true, even if it is small. Anyway, guys, see you next time, and rye out. I told you this would be my new thing. I have to say it again because that's how I close videos. Rye out.